Broadcasting live from the deliberately mixed-up world of Hyrule, this is the Link to the Plandothon! Hello, everybody. My name is DoctorBobtastic, and joining me today on commentary is the developer for this particular seed, IHNN, or I Have No Name, SDA. How you doing?
Doing pretty good. Excited to see how this goes. I already see people expecting shenanigans on par with an explosive reaction. This isn't quite that crazy, but should still have something that I don't think any of these people have seen before. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, well, I mean, shenanigans are bound to occur somewhere along these lines. But if I know anything about the seeds that you tend to make, they're... At least the one I played the explosive reaction one, and it was pleasant. Like, it wasn't, like, super awful, but you did have to sit there and think for a bit, like, wait, what am I missing?
Yes to trolls, no to complete sadism. Like, I want people to be laughing at what they find, not groaning, generally. Like, I just think the Plandos are better when they do something interesting rather than, okay, now go here, now go here, now go here, now go here.
Yeah, that reminds me of an idea for a dumb Plandomizer I had.
What was this idea?
The answer, the title of the Plandomizer is One Right Answer.
Oh,
and
no.
anytime you unlock an item, there is exactly one spot that gets unlocked that is the next progression item.
And a bunch of stuff that isn't.
Yes.
Oh no. On the plus side, I guess that means, oh, I found mushroom, there's my progression.
Yep.
That seems like it could have some interesting meta to it.
Alright, so everybody, we have set up the race room. Everyone in the race appears to be ready. And so, well, let's see. Yeah, at least all of our featured runners are ready. There's at least one other person gonna be joining up.
We've got Miria and Sectokia in here. As well as Devon, Solski, PinkKittyRose, and Dark Shadows. Just waiting on Miria at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Sectokia did drop out. Because Keysanity. Oh well. I know Keysanity's not for everyone, but, you know, this idea works so much better with Keysanity.
Yeah, well, I you know, I don't want to be an elitist here, but I'm pretty sure that Keysanity is rando as God intended it, so...
I don't know, it's definitely more random, though it's kind of potentially better in that regard. But it's also, you know, you're searching for more items, so it's more full clear everything and hit the right spots. So there's pros and cons to it. I think Retro is actually a better implementation of Keysanity, personally. Just because there's still the finding keys and going everywhere, but once you have enough keys, you can just do whatever.
I do agree with the particular sentiment from chat that keys are better than bees.
Oh, screw those bees. Also,
should I do one more for old time's sake? More bees!
No, no bees.
No bees? No bees.
I got traumatized by that yesterday.
All right.
seems
So-
to be everyone.
Looks like all of our runners are in fact ready to go, and so we'll be getting the seed underway shortly. So a lot of the things I know about Keysanity aren't necessarily going to apply to this seed, because I know that you said that the logic was generated under a no logic situation, although there is no way to soft lock it.
Yes.
But a lot of my stuff, like, oh, you need 5 keys to access this particular chest, is not necessarily going to apply.
Yeah, because I know exactly what the items and keys are, and so I can make sure that no matter how you decide to use the keys, you don't get locked. Alright, we're off. Got a Sank start and a Hyrule Castle start. And we find the map and compass to GT.
Well, there you go. That is pretty solid right there. We have the trolls beginning early.
That was there just so that no matter where you go first, you get a pretty trolly result. And you know, this way you know where Ganon's tower is. That's your ultimate goal, right?
Yeah, of course.
So, a couple of Uncle checks and a Houlihan. I like the Houlihan and Keysanity pretty well, usually.
Now, so just to be clear, you're saying in theory, any Joe Schmo could have theoretically generated this seed using the customizer, yes?
No.
What?
This is most definitely not something that could... Well, yes, anybody could have generated this using the customizer, but not anymore.
Oh, so on V29, that is no longer the case.
Yes, this cannot be done on V29. I had a permalink on the archive site, but then that got taken down because of the PHP RAND changes, and it just no longer worked. And it's just... So the permalink I had was dead, so I had to mirror it directly. Just some bombs from the passage area.
Would that have anything to do with potentially the fact that it now requires the maps and compasses in V29?
No comment. So, Defoun's going straight into Hyrule Castle without enough bombs or a weapon to clear it, so a bold decision. See if it pays off or not.
Nice, nice bomb strat there. That's not one I've seen before, but it's certainly better than anything else I've ever done.
Yeah, that's a strategy that I do like doing. It's pretty easy to do. Alright, Green Pendant, Ice Palace. Not a bad place for it to be. So, did anybody catch what the mushroom item was?
What?
And the mushroom item is nothing! It's clear!
Oh, God.
So yeah, that is one of the reasons why this is named Crystal Clear, because a lot of the open area items are clear. Nothing. Not all of them, but any that aren't progression pretty much are nothings.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the first reason why the Crystal Clear. Dark Shadow's going very early Eastern. And got the boots out of Sahasrala's hut, which makes traveling around pretty easy. As for Blind's hut, we got 3 people doing that for money.
I'm waiting to say it. I'm waiting to say it. 3, 2. Okay, yes, it is.
More money.
It's even random. Okay, yeah. There's a change. So we've got a pod key in Eastern.
These have to be somewhere. There are 6 of them after all. Alright, PinkKittyRose finding the map of Desert and the Well, as well as Devon finding that same map. And the map of Skull Woods. And the map of Misery Mire. And the map of Tower of Hera. And the map of Ice Palace.
Okay. So alright, hold on. I'm gonna make a dumb prediction. You ready?
Alright.
Okay, Chicken Hut and Back at Tavern. Those are going to have 2 more maps, and those 7 will comprise the crystals you have to clear.
Well, that's already wrong. So House said Ice Palace was Green Pendant.
Nice! I'm awesome. I'm the best. I'm the best at life.
Yeah. The Will of Maps. Also, Solski, not happy with that chicken for some reason.
I don't think anyone's happy with that chicken, to be honest.
Bombing chicken.
Well, there we go. We got sword times.
Yeah. Early sword, never a bad thing. So Dark Shadow is doing the 3-heart Darkroom in Eastern. Nails it, no problem.
So it does leave him with only a heart and a half.
Fast strat.
Yeah.
You know, there are hearts under these pots, so it could be worse. It's gonna have to be really careful with this.
I
I don't think those die to bombs.
No, bombs will kill him. It's just
They will?
It just I think it was technically in the air.
Well, he's got a couple more bombs, so can he get this?
Well, the trick here is to just leave the room to the right, come back, and there'll be pots again.
Oh, that would be a really good strategy. Anyway, this trash is the Big Key of Desert Palace.
All right. So we've seen the map of desert, we've seen the big key of desert. That's a thing.
Good sign that desert is probably an early location.
I mean, nothing's ever a good sign in Plandomizers, you know that.
Some things can be. There was also a small key in the library. We kind of overlooked that with Dark Shadow's bomb strats in this.
I see. Speaking of small keys, we've got a Skullwood small key.
One of those is pretty convenient for routing.
Yep.
Not needed, technically, but logically it is.
Yeah. I'm completely going to disregard any key logic that I know.
PinkKittyRose tackling all of Escape. Solski hitting South Shore. Dark Shadow fills up on bombs.
Yeah, it looks like Solski may have found the flute inside the dam, and of course a whole lot of diddly underneath the water.
Yeah. Gotta love those bush crab bombs, though.
It is interesting.
Really nice thing.
So I knew you could place items that were nothing. I just didn't realize that they would still show up if they were out in the overworld.
Yeah, the reason nothing does that is actually so the game still draws the item, so it has the same amount of lag. Yes, nothing creates lag. I don't know if any of these runners have experienced nothings before.
Oh.
But if they haven't, they're learning very quickly how it all works.
Yeah, there was a shadow of nothing in the pond.
Yeah. So we'll see what's in Zelda's cell in a moment. I mean, I know what's here. Care to have a guess what's here?
Mirror. I'm just guessing.
Nice ball and fan fight. And the book.
Okay.
Yeah. Alright, Solski activating his flute.
That is true.
Dark Shadow's about to get his money out of Blind's Hut.
Yep. It's clear that you wanted the players to be able to purchase that sword here.
I mean, it can be interesting to have to scrounge up money for Bottle Vendor, but seeing as Houlihan exists, it makes one right choice versus that's not at all obvious. So it's nicer to just have enough money for that. Make them not have to worry.
So Solski's checking the ever so out of the way Agina's cave.
It's not out of the way if you're heading off to desert, but you know.
There is that.
He
But
doesn't
Solski hasn't been to the book, so.
Yeah. So technically, that book is out of logic, just because the Hyrule Castle key can be used to either get that item in Zelda's cell, or it can be used to go into the sewers drop area. And the game can't know which one you go to. It just can't.
I think the way that you can get around that is, well, I guess place the Hyrule Castle key in a place that's accessible, but meh.
I did something a little nicer. A little more clever, you could say.
That's okay. Tell me that my eyes aren't deceiving me, because this happens to me a lot. That was the fire rod, right?
In Ice Rod Cave? Yes,
Correct.
That was the fire rod.
Okay. Like, for some reason, when I'm watching on restreams, I always mix up the colors.
That flashing fire rod.
And so Devin's gonna go get that book as well.
PinkKittyRose heading off to Mini Moldorm. Solski's gonna get his boots. Dark Shadows gets his Meyer key, which is super nice. Means you can take a nice fast route to Meyer.
So not only is the book out of logic, but it opens desert. So, if the book is blocking desert and you go into desert, you find something important, then either the Hyrule Castle key was available or you had some other way to get into desert.
Very nice 7-second time from Dark Shadows on the race. That is very difficult to get.
How the heck? What?
You have to dash a couple times.
Oh, right. Boots. I forgot those were things.
Yeah, those are a thing, like, really early. Isn't that so nice compared to all these other seeds? Where they come an hour and a half in? No, they're accessible in the first 2 minutes. And everybody, half our runners here have them. The other half will probably be getting them shortly.
Well, I don't know. I played one the other day where it was accessible in 0 seconds, so...
Yeah, well, the Concord doesn't count. You don't have to find anything, really.
Yeah, you're right.
Except the keys. Isn't that funny? It's a key search.
Yeah, pretty much. And it looks like there was a moon pearl somewhere.
The escape dark room. I believe it was.
There we go.
Yep, escape dark room. Double checking my spreadsheet. Dark Shadow seems a little confused at the nothings.
I mean, I'm confused with the nothings, so, and you've even explained it to me.
Yeah. I mean, that's been a thing since I think Expert was added way back, because some of the items just didn't have any, like some of the locations just didn't have anything. to make you have to get less nice to have things. Ooh.
So there was a Meyer key in
Library.
Oh, was it in library? Because I was talking about Agnes Cave.
Oh. Oh yeah, I guess it's both. There's Meyer keys everywhere.
Yep. You are putting those keys that are generally not useful everywhere.
I mean, they have to go somewhere, right?
Yep.
Yeah, PinkKittyRose, sequence breaking to Hobo, gets blue mail for her troubles. Nice little reward. Not that the execution difficulty on this seed is too high. I mean, 7, 8 hearts available already.
So is there anything in this seed that you did not deliberately place?
Nope, everything is specifically placed.
Alright.
There wasn't that much thought put into a lot of the junk fill, but there was some.
Cool, cool. I like it when there's at least some thought put into all that stuff.
I agree. I mean, Mini Moldorm Cave having a full heart on the guy and 4 heart pieces kind of tells that.
Yeah.
So, small key on the Zora ledge. Devon's checking out Desert Palace. See what he gets out of this chest here. I'd love.
Alright, and we'll be able to see the torch. The torch item is garbled.
I mean, we'll see it when someone else goes there. Also, wasn't that rude? Zora gave literally nothing.
All right, so now you've made my list.
At least it's not a Rupor. It could have been a Rupor.
True.
I have gotten a Rupor out of Zora in Plando before. A minus, like a 9999 Rupor at that. It's like, yeah, you just spent 500. Now you have nothing. Like, genuinely nothing. I'd say that's probably the rudest item placement in terms of the junk fill that I have here by a lot.
And I mean, you did give them some of that money early on, so
Yeah.
it's not like they were gonna miss it.
I mean, they might miss it. So, a lot of fake flipper sequence breaks here. Dark Shadows not having his pearl from Escape. They can't quite do Waterfall Fairy right now. Solski won't be able to either. So that puts PinkKittyRose in quite good position here.
Alright, so it looks like we did find a glove on Devin's screen.
Yep, that was in Desert Palace. So still technically out of logic there until that sewers key shows up.
Yeah, at the top of GT or something.
That couldn't be.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Most definitely, I would not put that in the Moldorm chest. I'd put it in the pre-Moldorm chest. Everyone
Okay.
expects it in the Moldorm chest.
Yeah, Zora's like, you get nothing. Good day, sir.
The palm toss from Solski. Oh, that is great.
Did you deliberately choose the tree poles and stuff?
No, I let those fall as they did.
All right.
They usually aren't too important to a seed. Iridian, runners were told about this, so this is a, quote, no glitches Keysanity. The quotes are because I generated the seed under no logic because there are some placements that the logic does not allow. However, it is impossible to keylock. What they were not told was a couple of things, and that will become clear later.
Will it become crystal clear later?
Yes, yes it will. So PinkKittyRose getting bomb capacity upgrade out of the Desert Palace big chest. I missed what was on the torch again. I'm gonna see if it's something important.
Now, one thing I know is that the customizer, like, you can't put crystals anywhere but as boss drops.
Yep, you can't put pendants anywhere but boss drops either.
Yeah. Although, theoretically, the pendants somewhere else does work. It's just not allowed in the customizer. The
Yes.
crystals really don't.
Yeah, it could be fixed, but there's not, like, that wouldn't be worth the effort, especially given the existence of Triforce Hunt.
Right.
Pendants do, and I know the Kaizomizer put pendants in chests.
Oh, don't.
Lamp in the Spectacle Rock Cave.
I'm putting that on my list of Plandomizers to play and hate myself over, so don't spoil me on that one.
Knowing that there are pendants in chests doesn't really spoil anything.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it could just be a duplicate pendant troll. Yeah, Hookshot on top of Spectacle Rock makes West Death Mountain a bit loaded. Dark Shadows is about to get his book. Sure, he's happy about that.
Speaking of duplicate pendants, I wonder if it's possible to do duplicate crystals.
Oh,
I mean, they'd still have to come from bosses, but...
we're about to get one of the first crystals. And the Master Sword.
Alright, we got a crystal.
Yeah, it's not crystal 5 or 6, but it's a crystal.
Really? I'm not sure how we would know that it was 5 or 6.
Map check.
I mean, okay. Yeah, that's true. Words.
Yeah, remember, they got all those maps in the Kakariko well, just so they know where their crystals are.
Yeah. Except Ice Palace.
Yeah. I mean, this way, even if you don't talk to Sahasrali, you end up knowing, so...
Yeah, seems good.
Alright, PinkKittyRose about to check the back of Escape. See what she finds. Pod key, Sewers key, and pod key. So,
Okay.
that is the first instance something that goes outside of normal key logic.
Okay, so it was kind of a loop off of Desert Palace. Okay.
Right. Either you steal an enemy key and get the Sewers key anyway and be able to go to the book in Zelda's cell, or you'd still end up there getting the glove out of Desert Palace to still get the Sewers key.
Right. That works.
So under the logic, you literally are not allowed to have that book until you have that key, and that key is locked behind itself because both gloves are locked behind that book. And so by the logic, it's like, no, this doesn't work. But in practice, it does. And so that is the given reason for why this is on no logic.
So what you're telling me is the other glove is locked behind the first one.
Of course. Is that really surprising?
No.
Given how much the runners have checked, it almost would have to be. So it's also worth noting that the Desert Palace small key hasn't turned up either.
There is that.
Also, bow on pedestal. So,
So you know that list I was putting you on a minute ago?
yeah, bow on pedestal, and it's also worth noting that by the same stealing the key option, that Master Sword that Pink Kitty Rose got is technically a sequence break as well.
Right. So I guess that would mean, okay, this is likely wrong. Doesn't bother me. Likely something along the lines of Desert Palace small key locked behind something on right side of desert.
All will be revealed. Darn, I had a chance to say it will all become crystal clear and I missed it.
Why you gotta do that? But yes, I am fully aware that you are not going to answer my questions, and I am still going to ask them. That is the way this works.
They are worth asking for, just so everybody knows what you're thinking. Because we don't know what the runners are thinking. If they're thinking in terms of normal logic, then they are a little off.
So we've got 3 pod keys now.
Yes, we do.
Which to me says, under normal circumstances, that I need to be at pod, like, immediately.
Yeah. What are these, what's normal about these circumstances, though?
Exactly.
So
I guess that would
them.
throw me at Aghanim is what it would probably do, which is
Exactly where Pink Kitty Rose is going, despite having no Aghanim's tower keys.
Yeah, I mean, you could at least check this first chest. So it's like worst case scenario, I come in here, check a thing, and leave.
Yeah, it's not a long check. Oh, look, it's an Aghanim's tower key.
Yep. It would be, wouldn't it? But you just have the second one be something completely wrong just to troll you. I don't know. Nope, it's just straight up vanilla.
Yeah.
Because that's how it works here today.
Of all the things that people probably would not expect in a Keysanity seed, vanilla Aghanim's tower key is probably tops that list.
Yeah, and Pink Kitty's now sitting here like, oh, I read you like a book.
Yeah, before even going over to Eastern Palace, so she does not have her boots.
Nice.
But, you know, 3 pod keys and the Moon Pearl, that's pretty solid for being able to dip into pod. She does not know that the bow is on the pedestal, though, so we'll see how it plays out. The theme of this seed is to be revealed. Other than the fact that a lot of the open area items are clear.
So that's why when I looked at the list of item pool that had been changed out, or no, that was on a different seed. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't like
you didn't list the item pool,
but I did mention that there were some small changes, mostly to make room for those nothings to replace red rupees. I did raise the amount of large rupee values. A waterfall fairy with Eastern and pod compasses.
It'll be fun though, because you know, you had the logic situation that you're talking about. What'd be fun is if the desert small key was actually over there on the right hand side, and then there was like some convenience item that's over there that you could only get if you if you stole the key from the back.
We'll see what Devon does. Because he could still steal a key, and that would be interesting to see what's over there. And yes, Dogi, this is just Customizer, V28, no mods. Yeah, Zarby's direct editing tool is actually really cool. I haven't messed with it too much because ideas to fully overhaul things, there's so much more effort to go into that. A lot of really cool stuff can be done, but it remains to be seen whether that, like, whether I have any ideas for that or not.
I'll have to figure out what that is one of these days.
I'm also really looking forward to seeing what people come up with that. I think that's something I'll have more fun playing than making. I honestly like the restrictions of working within Customizer to do something interesting. And I think I did a pretty solid job with this one. Yeah, Agonim's down. PinkKittyRose gets to explore the Dark World. Her immediate reward? Nothing.
Of course.
Then she picks it up.
So, are we gonna go to pod or are we gonna go to catfish?
They're both open, but that's all that's immediately accessible here. I do like the catfish play first, because you're probably going to have to double dip pod anyway here. And catfish is just one trip no matter what. Wait, is Dark Shadows doing Dark Aghanim?
What? Maybe.
I guess he didn't flute to Death Mountain and find that lamp. No magic left, and that is... I wasn't looking where he started, so I do not know where he is, but good luck to him with that.
Ooh, we got a mirror sitting on catfish. That's, quite theoretically helpful.
And that allows a save warp back to the pyramid, which would allow for a faster trip to pod, but no, she's going elsewhere. Probably to get that hook shot.
I was gonna say, it also allows for messing with Death Mountain.
So, Skullwoods Crystal 5, Misery Mire Crystal 7.
Alright.
That is 4 crystals accounted for and 1 pendant. Wonder what Dark Shadows is going to think when he finds that lamp. I really do wonder that. So Devon seems a little stuck. Hasn't quite gone to desert yet, so needs to get that Master Sword.
And we'll get to see what's on the Ether tablet.
Just a key. Ace Palace key, too. Like with Skullwoods and Misery Mire, not essential to get all the items in the dungeon, but finding one definitely makes the route a lot easier.
And unless something weird happened here, we're gonna have to get that Ice Palace pendant. Unless I'm making some assumption that is incorrect. The bow is still necessary.
Yeah, this isn't Enemizer. bow is in fact going to be necessary. So Solski about to get his nothing. I'm half expecting him to bomb the nothing, honestly. Oh, looks like Shadow's at death in Aghanims Tower. That is sad.
Oh,
Especially because he's about to find that lamp.
alright, well, let's go to Paradox Cave. Let's see what sort of masterful troll. Hey.
I'm laughing at
don't know what I was
spending all of
expecting.
his magic after that 100-for-1 chest game. I was paying attention to that, so I missed what was on lower Paradox. Or technically, isn't that Paradox up?
That's the way it's written in the spoiler log. Well, there's the Thieves Town small key.
Yeah, not a bad find.
And another full heart's worth of stuff. Now, downstairs was 50 rupees and +5 arrow upgrade, so
Nothing too
You know,
valuable.
nothing terribly important, but nothing really trollish either.
All right, but what's in
Dare I
Spiral
say
Cave?
pedestrian for this seed. I wonder what a tablet or the pedestal says when there is nothing on it.
This really isn't worth your time, I think. And oh man, Dark Shadows was actually doing lampless, pearlless, keyless Aghanims Tower.
Well, he got the lamp, looks like.
Yeah, but he was doing it. No lamp, no keys, no pearl. I think he was really just expecting to get the items out of it.
Mhm.
But it was 2 keys. Spiral Cave has a shuffle.
And so our tracker JTN is now disappointed.
Why is there disappointment about the shovel?
Well, because it's not on the pedestal.
We already knew that wasn't on the pedestal, it's a bow.
That being said, he already got his Master Shovel seed.
Well, Devon about to get his Moon Pearl. So he still has to go over to Desert. I don't know if he realizes that that's the answer.
Well, it looks like he's got the glove, so
Alright. Then why hasn't he fought Lanmo? Oh, he didn't get the big key from Race Game. Oh. I honestly can't see the key parts of the tracker, so I'm just trying to remember what I've seen people get. And it's really easy to miss something. There have been Dark World map checks from a few people.
Yep. I believe we saw Crystal 5 on Skullwoods and 7 on Mire. So Pink Kitty is now checking Graveyard Ledge. Once again, refusing to go into pod, finding the hammer.
It's a good find. Yeah, Pink has made a lot of really good calls so far. See, she still doesn't have her boots from Sahasrarla's hut, but that's not a huge deal. It's really not.
Alright, going to look at the bumper cave.
And it is a big key.
Okay, so some sort of big key to some sort of dungeon.
May or may not be important. You never know. But they're probably going to check it as soon as they cape.
It could be an extremely important big key, could be an extremely useless big key.
Yep. Solski off to go check that dig spot before doing anything in the Dark World. Probably thinks it's something valuable because, you know, she'll see it right. Don't you just love digging up the mushroom?
Okay, which big key was that there in Skullwoods?
Let me check real quick.
I just saw it out of the corner of my eye.
Hera is the Hera big key chest, or Hera big key in the Skullwoods big key chest.
Okay.
And what was that in the potion shop? Was it nothing?
I think it was. I'm moving you up the list.
Why am I being moved up the list? Because I forced Ganon and Bo is on the pedestal and Fetch Quest for nothing. New Life, are you saying how to placing nothing? Because that's a thing you can just do in Customizer. Not too many of those placed, it's only where I thought it would be funny and not just frustrating.
Well, with the minor exception of Zora.
I feel like that wraps back around to funny. I mean, like, is it really that different from getting a single rupee there?
I mean, it's the difference between a 0.2% return and a 0% return, which is 100% more.
Oh.
If you do the math wrong.
Another pod key off of Mothula, and PinkKittyRose has her second crystal.
All right. So that's 4 pod keys.
Pod keys, never a bad thing to have. That is enough to full clear the dungeon with that bow.
Ha.
Huh?
Ha.
What's so funny?
Yeah, but it just whenever we get the bow, you just go right ahead. Go right ahead. Go grab that bow.
I mean, she's not far from it.
I mean, only like interdimensionally.
Yeah, and 3 pendants. To
Not
be
to
fair,
mention
though,
at least a flippers in
that
logic.
green pendant is technically only myths away.
Well, I
So
mean,
flippers do
flippers.
have to be somewhere. I don't know, I feel like Faith Flippering into Ice in a Plando is usually a good play if you can do it.
I mean, yeah, it is a good play. But
In regular rando, it's a terrible play, I think, but when
you
things
can't call this no glitches if the flippers aren't available. That's what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, but if they
Okay.
are available, which they are, then doing that is not necessarily a bad decision.
Yeah, true.
That's what I'm saying.
That, I believe, was a T-Rock small key on the lumberjack cave.
That'll be very nice for later. Now you don't have, I mean, hey, forced agony means you don't have to worry about what that small key was then.
That's true.
So, pinball room key, just still pinball room key. Not that mean sometimes. Like, I wouldn't put something essential there unless the actual logic is changed so that essential items can be there again. I did have one custom seed I played where somebody had no small keys in any of those 3 accessible chests from that first drop, though. That was not nice. And this was through IHNN for Dark World as well, so let's take the full loop back around.
How about no thank you?
I agree. This also had a pedestal shovel to dig up the Master Sword.
Yeah.
Still no thank you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my thought.
Who's that person? I'll put him on the list.
I don't remember who it was, but at this
I'm
rate, it
messing
sounds
with
like your list is going to consist of everybody on Earth.
Yeah, maybe.
Chest game gives some money back. Devon did steal a key, and he finds a Master Sword.
Was there a desert key in the other chest?
Nope.
Okay.
And so the way this little
I
logic loop
like
closes is
I
no matter
like
which
it.
side you pick with that key, you still get the Master Sword. It still opens up the Dark World, and eventually gets you your key to be able to access that other sword.
Oh, that's the best. That's good. It's real good.
Yeah, so essentially, neither decision is wrong, even though it looks like one of them would be.
Right. So now, Devin here, finding that after stealing the key, is gonna know something's up, whereas everybody else is just gonna think this is business as usual. And he might be able to deduce the fact that either another copy of the sword, or say the cape, is over on Lamola's.
Yeah. There's definitely something that could be worked out from that. But whether he does or not remains to be seen. He's definitely been a little slow on figuring some other stuff out. Just a lot of standing around, just thinking, which I don't blame. Like there is some definitely some non-standard placements going on here.
So the way you set this up, you were talking about having to do the full loop and stuff. If you were observant and picked up everything along the way, that was not really a problem in this one.
Yeah.
You could go get the mirror off a catfish. You could go get the hammer off a graveyard ledge, and then
you have to get the hook shot out of Death Mountain first, but yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it's true.
I was very happy that digging game was short here as well. It's because, there's nothing there.
Right.
Are you really surprised that South of Grove had nothing?
I mean, kind of. Mainly because Graveyard Chest had something, and I put those two in the same category so often.
Single rupee, not terrible, especially because just think of that being nothing and King Zorai giving something. All these nothings being bombed. That is far better than I expected.
Yeah, at this point, I would be sitting here like, okay, what items could I see before getting them? I'm just not going there. And then I'd miss the hammer, and I'd be like,
Yep. Of course, Catfish is kind of like that too, and that was the
Right.
mirror. So Thieves Town being Crystal 6, it would seem, as Skullwoods was Crystal 5.
right. Now this is, as you said, generated under V28, so it's not going to have the little feature that marks the map for you when you talk to the guy.
Yes. A small shield. And some health. Alright, looks like Solski's about to go bully Storm. Shadow's making the blood play. Before even going across to the West Dark World. So, bowless, hammerless pod.
Well, yeah, we can't assume that Pod and Eastern are crystals unless something horrible has happened.
One could argue this being a Plando means something horrible has already happened.
That is true.
So interestingly, PinkKittyRose walks past Swamp despite having all the tools necessary to clear it. Oh wait, no, right, no flippers. Duh. Why do I always forget that? I think it's just because flippers are elsewhere, like they're not in your active item set, so it slips my mind more often than not.
Right.
Also, yeah, Pod and Eastern do have to be crystals. So with that knowledge, we know Desert, Hera, Eastern, Pod, Thieves Town, Skullwoods, and Misery
Mire.
Mire are 7 crystals, which would imply that Turtle Rock is a pendant, and would also imply that Swamp Palace is a pendant.
Pendant Swamp.
And that would mean the crystal situation. We know Hera because there was a Hera map. And, a crystal just dropped from Solski's screen anyway.
Right.
Scooby-D raises an interesting point. There could be a duplicate bow, which means the Eastern Pod deduction could be completely flawed.
That would be a thing. Would also mean the flippers don't have to be available. As we did notice, there were some modifications made to the item pool.
Under normal logic, there would be a lot of deducible information from the current game state. And if anybody's been paying attention and is thinking this is normal, well, they might make those deductions. Whether that's right or not, well, that will remain to be seen.
I missed the bug net happening. That's important.
Where did the bug net happen?
In Tower of Hera.
Oh. So it did. Very nice hammer jump from Dark Shadows. He's rewarded with a Ganon's Tower small key for his troubles.
So Dark Shadows was in there kind of clearing around Pod, but
doesn't quite get anything valuable out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, the GT key is nice, but yeah. Not the most essential item.
Solski about to see nothing.
That slightly frustrated Slash. So at this point, the open question is pretty much, where are the mitts? The mitts lock quite a lot of locations.
Yeah, there is that. Let's see. It is the open question of the day. Has anyone dipped into Thieves Town yet?
I think PinkKittyRose did dip the first 4 in Thieves Town, but the big key hasn't turned up.
Okay. We have found the small key.
That does open up the big chest, so the big key is all it takes to fully clear Thieves. Solski might be going there now. And PinkKittyRose, 50 minutes after everybody else, finally getting her boots. That moment of hesitation of, oh, these were here.
Just the Wow.
Yeah, those were there the whole time. Dark Shadows gets his hammer again. Like, Dark Shadows has just been perpetually making all the wrong choices here. Like, Pod without the hammer and then finds the hammer. Aghanim without lamp and then finds the lamp. You can't help but feel for him after that.
Yeah, now granted, none of the stuff he could access in Pod required the hammer.
This is true, but you never really want to make that trip without it. This feels
unless
wrong,
you know that the bow is miles away, right? Thinking you might have to go in there. That's what I was thinking.
Oh, Dark Shadows did find the cape somewhere.
Oh? Well, it wasn't
Also,
its vanilla
that's not
location. That
vanilla
was again
boots.
Tower Small Key.
It's not Vanilla Boots. Vanilla Boots is on Sahasrahla. Those boots were behind Sahasrahla.
Yeah, they're more like rum raisin boots. I just picked a different ice cream flavor.
Oh, Cape was in Pod.
There's a big key of Thieves Town.
Yeah, so Pod play actually did pay off with the Cape. This is why I keep the spreadsheet around.
So really the most efficient way to do this was to, the second you get to Dark World, go ahead, do Pod, then go to Catfish.
Going to Catfish first would actually be more efficient, given the placements.
You could get the mirror.
And then you could save quit, and then you'd be on the pyramid and have a faster overworld traversal time.
Yes, but I also just hate save quitting and ending up at the pyramid.
Yeah, but in this case, it would be a pretty useful one. Like, it can be annoying sometimes, Spike Cave, but it can also be pretty valuable. So Devon gets a GT small key. So Dark Shadows is going to be clearing Thieves Town soon. So we'll see if that has anything of value. Perhaps vanilla-ish mitts.
Yeah, very well possible.
Looks like Solski and PinkKittyRose are pretty much in lockstep here, heading up to Pod. They've done a lot of the same things. Solski does have Bombos, which that is a sole person to have Bombos. Which that was in Thieves Town, so that was from a Thieves Town dip.
Bombos is always fun.
Yeah. Just some money from ambush chest. Did you happen to catch how stupid that room was in the Enemizer yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was way too much lag.
Yeah, I was talking about that one. It was pretty messed up.
Yeah, there's Bombus. Some more pod checking.
I wonder what sort of advantage you could be afforded by hovering over to those side chests there.
I mean, oh yeah, there haven't been any bottles yet. I was gonna say, oh yeah, the camera unlock thing is technically minor.
Yeah, but no bottles, so yeah.
So another Ganon's Tower small key, but a lot of those in Paw. I think this must be Ganon's vacation home.
Very well could be.
Very nice hammer jump with blowing up the wall. Not at all an easy thing to pull off. Dark Shadows, by the way, picked up, I think it was Ether from that upstairs chest. That's 2 medallions in Thieves Town.
So what are the odds we find the Quake medallion sitting next to the maiden downstairs?
Given that this is a Plando, probably pretty high.
Or it could be in the big chest. Or it could be in... I don't know.
Oh, there's Quake. I don't think
Quack.
that was terribly difficult to call, though.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, and that is all 3 medallions in Thieves Town. With Ether, the lightning one, the highest, Quake the lowest, and Bombos in the middle. Because of course, I had to make somewhat thematic placements for them. Funnily enough, if you paid attention to the maps were in the Kakariko well, they were all closest to their, like, in the same-ish location as the dungeon they were mapped for.
I see.
'Cause I like silly little things like that.
Uh-oh.
Looks like things are being resynced.
Good. I was like, I do need to see what blind drops here.
Well, Blend's gonna drop a crystal, which, you know, not just an air capacity upgrade. I think it was.
It was, yeah, it was the good one. It was the plus 10.
The one is the plus 70. It got removed for some reason. Solski getting his Thieves Town big key. So again, the open question is still, where are the Mets?
Yeah, that is an open question.
Late mitts are... Whoa.
Hello, Devin. How you doing?
Kinda can't see what anyone else is doing there. Okay, there we go. Looks like Solski might be going for Spike Cave. Yeah, that's definitely going for Spike Cave.
That is a place I believe we haven't seen yet.
It is not.
And on account of having that cape from Pod, yet another location that is clearable.
Yeah. Well, technically this is out of logic because cape
That is
expects
true.
a way to extend magic, but for all that you know, a bottle's out there somewhere. Oh, look, a
Or
bottle.
it's in here. Alright, so...
And it's filled with the green potion to refill the magic you spent there. Isn't that nice?
Yep.
Yeah, bottle glitch is now an option if somebody were to decide to, but I don't know if anybody will. I mean, it is only 2 chests, and that would be an additional trip into pod, and I don't think that's something anybody really wants to do, a triple dip pod.
Right. And of course, I imagine this seed was designed before that was classified as minor, am I correct?
Yes, it was.
Well, how about more bottles?
Yeah, bottle for bottle.
I was gonna call shenanigans if mitts were there. I really was.
No, I think I remember
No,
where
that
mitts
was
are.
required.
Because there is somewhere that is accessible that has not yet been checked by anyone. Looks like we're going to be seeing a Thieves Town clear from Solski, Skullwoods clear from Dark Shadows, and probably a Thieves Town clear from PinkKittyRose. Nothing wrong with any of those clears. And something interesting usually is that you can use heart counts as a way to just at a glance gauge progress through a seed. Not just by absolute progress of crystals and items, but how many junk locations they've also checked. So in that regard, Solski and PinkKittyRose have pretty much checked the most.
Yeah, that makes sense. I like it. It's good insight.
Yeah, not always a perfect heuristic, but it's usually pretty good.
Also good use of the word heuristic.
Devon getting his hammer, I'm sure he's very relieved to see that turn up. Very nice cape dash on the Hellway. Let's see if Dark Shadows gets a good moth fight. Master Sword Moth isn't the easiest thing, but it's usually not too bad. And 4 good spins and he's down.
Oh, I am having a brain problem today. As is everybody else, apparently.
I mean, there's definitely some things you have to think about here that you don't normally have to think about.
Oh. Of course. Duh. I forgot Thieves' Town was the other crystal.
Yes, crystals 5 and 6. Both have been collected by Dark Shadows, and both Solski and Pink Kitty are about to get their other crystal. So we might see triple Pyramid Fairy check, which would be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. We could take the shortcut even. How nice of you.
Yeah. See, IHNN being defeated early isn't that bad.
We got color problems.
I feel like that's an actual glitch in the game that can just be done. I don't know how to do it, though.
Yeah, Solski triggered that on purpose. I have no idea what to do, but...
Nice dashing fight.
But we're not going to have to drag that big bomb all around the world this time.
Nope. Yeah, no needing it to get items that aren't the obvious. I mean, who would do that? Certainly not me.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Solski on the way to get his big bomb. Dark Shadows looks like he's going the exact... No, he looks like he's going Hype Cave. Has he not been there yet?
Perhaps not.
Oh, I'm sure Big Bomb is next on his list.
Solski did the double purchase there. Where you get to buy both in the same A button press. Still costs you all the money, but...
He does realize he can do the fast method, too. That is something very easy to overlook because of how rarely you've defeated IHNN and have the mirror by this point. PinkKittyRose realizing it too, and Dark Shadows does go for his bomb.
And... Flippers, I knew it. Oh, but also Titan Smiths.
Yeah,
Okay.
Flippers and mitts. Not a bad set of finds out of Pyramid Fairy at all.
I thought you were gonna make me go into Swamp to get the mitts.
No. Who would do that?
Yeah, Swamp is for jerks. I mean... But now we've basically unlocked Ice, Mire, and Turtle Rock.
No Samaria. Turtle Rock's not really open.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. You could open it, though.
You could open it if you have the medallion. Oh wait, everybody does. They did Thieves' Town.
Yeah, but also there's several chests up there that you could get as well.
Yes, Dark Death Mountain's open, Mire Area's open, Ice Palace is open, Blacksmith, Hammer Pegs, Purple Chest are open.
And so Solski is taking those flippers and going immediately to pick up whatever key is over here on Zora Ledge.
Forgot that he already paid Zora. He probably thought, oh, I got nothing there. Like, of course you got nothing there. I put nothing there. And there's the Desert Small Key. So that allows you to go beat up the Landmo if you didn't. Or get that Tempered Sword otherwise.
Seems good.
I'm sure that's a little bit confusing to anybody trying to just think through the logic themselves. It's like, okay, I sequence broke the Master Sword, and now I got the Desert Key as a direct result of that. And another pod key off of Lake Hylia Island. Not a bad find. Gotta love having the pod keys.
So that's 5 of them
That's
in
5.
total.
Which, if the front door is avoided, which I don't think it is or was due to bow and no bottles available. But with hammer jump, that is enough to clear everything. So Solski getting, I think, nothing out of the Meyer shed.
And there's actual nothing in Checkerboard Cave. What did you expect?
Rose heading off to Dark Death Mountain. Not a terrible decision at all. I mean, there's 6 items there you can get. Forget what was on the floating island if that was important, then 7. And Solski about to check right side desert.
Yep, Solski gonna pick up the Tempered Sword, get some nice little stuff.
First runner to get tempered. Though I wouldn't be surprised if Dark Shadows is very far behind on that.
Alright, so what do we
Opening
got in
Turtle
terms of
Rock
super
itself is less valuable than you might think,
Yeah, it is.
since the fastest way to get to Turtle Rock is already the Turtle Rock portal, so you're already up there. So having it pre-opened is mostly convenient if you'd want to be coming from another direction later. But with Spike Cave out of the way, not really too valuable to have it pre-open. Other
So we
than
got-
having the magic cost already done.
We got double boomerangs in Super Bunny Cave.
Swamp Palace Compass,
Looks like we might have a magnetic hookshot cave.
Hera Compass, Skull Woods Compass. Wanna bet this is just another compass? Oh look. Ace Palace Compass.
What was up on the floating island? Got a small key, I
At this
think.
point, I'm thinking it's probably a compass. Just I don't remember what we saw earlier, so we'll see what it is.
Oh, a big key.
Ah, that is valuable, isn't it? Skullwood's big
Or
key.
is it? I mean, it could be.
Could be.
What kind of respectable plandomizer doesn't put something in the skull with big chest, to be honest?
Technically, well, the one that kind of one that's putting nothing there.
There is that.
Given the seed. Solski clearing out Compass Cave. PinkKittyRose gonna get that first bottle. I'm sure she'll be very happy to see that.
Meanwhile, Dark Shadows is taking the dip into Misery Mire.
I like that choice, honestly. Like, if you got the keys for it, a second trip here, just for Vitreous, is not actually very bad. The access time for Mire is very fast.
Right. I mean, minus that first room, but the first room, you just deal with it.
Yeah, that's the only reason why double dipping Mire is kind of eh. But even that first room isn't too slow. So at this point, what are the open questions on missing items?
Well, we are missing everybody's favorite ice rod. We're missing the Cane of Samaria. We also don't know where Cane of Brian is, or my favorite item in the game.
Silver arrows?
Nope.
Powder?
Magic powder. All day.
Also, for the trackers, Dark Shadows does have his Moon Pearl. He's kind of running around Misery Mire.
What, he didn't just bunny revive? I'm kidding.
So, Solski found the ice rod in the Skullwood's big chest.
Well, all right then.
So that does mean that the ice rod was in the fire rod's location, and the fire rod was in the ice rod's location.
Like you do.
So, Rose, a couple other things. Dark Shadow's finding the Ice Palace big key in Misery Mire.
Yeah, we found a big key in that chest, just not the one that's usually there.
It's like, okay, I found the big key. Something is missing. The big key?
Right.
Interestingly, there are 4 shield states, and our runners have all 4 of them shown between them right now.
Nice. Though Devin will be heading to Hype Cave soon, I assume.
And Solski's about to get his mirror shield as well.
Sure are finding a lot of Ice Palace related things here in Misery Mire.
Yeah, you gotta do Misery Mire at some point. You gotta do Ice Palace at some point, too.
Yeah, Misery Mire is probably just sitting here like, this is, haha, you should have done Ice Palace.
Yeah, all of the Ice Palace dungeon items have turned up, which means that it is totally in the logic.
And that is true. We also found a Turtle Rock small key in Misery Mire. So,
I think there was also a Mire key in Mire.
yeah, that would make sense. We should find a, I don't remember seeing Mire key. Maybe it was in the middle chest. I'm thinking we should see the Mire big key in the Ice Palace big key chest.
What if it's in the Ice Palace big chest? Or it could be on Cold Stair, or it could be anywhere in Ice Palace. We will see, because Solski's going in without the big key. Also, Mars Deckard, the purple chest behaviors between V28 and V29 were actually barely changed. In fact, the only difference is that now in V29, the purple chest will despawn if you go into Thieves Town and get a follower there. That's really the only difference. The purple chest will still stick around, all the other ways it will. Just the way the changelog was worded, it made it sound like the purple chest wouldn't despawn in ways that it would before.
So it looks like PinkKittyRose will now be checking out the Mire area.
Get her 40 rupees and then get her nothing.
And potentially going into Mire for all those keys.
And interestingly, Darados didn't get the fire shield from wherever that turned up. So he got his fire shield from the Smiths.
Right. I think perhaps he hasn't been to Bombo's tablet.
That is probably it. So
Well, there's
Solski-
my powder.
Yeah.
Now I'm happy.
And PinkKittyRose got her tempered sword. I'm sure she's pretty happy to find that too.
That's actually a reasonable location for the powder. PinkKittyRose going to pick up all of the nothings. Like every time she sees them, she's still picking them up.
I guess there's nothing she won't collect.
No. She is collecting the nothing.
Yeah, there's nothing she won't collect.
and what's on second? Anyway.
Solski, you do realize you have the hook shot, right? You don't need to do this bomb jump. Yeah, there you go. He was even
I think
doing
he was just going for the swag strats.
doing the harder setup too, where you drop the bomb above you and then move to the right. If you drop the bomb to your left, you don't have to move at all.
You still have to be like on the stupidly lowest pixel, right?
Yeah, the absolute lowest pixel, which is easy if you use the spin release trick to get there.
Okay, this is the second time I've heard about this. How does that work?
Okay, so you release a spin as you're falling off, and the spin doesn't happen. So then, while you're in this kind of slipping off falling state, you just hold away from the pit, and the moment you are off of the pit, the spin will release, and you're on the edge pixel.
Okay.
Basically, if you're charging a spin, you cannot release a spin while falling into a pit. So you save yourself from the pit, and then the spin releases at the first possible moment. And it's really good for getting bomb jump lineups.
That sounds like something that requires a better reaction time than I have.
It does not require any reaction time at all, actually. You can just essentially start walking and then release the spin and pull back, and without having to react, just gauge. And if you release too soon, well, you're not on the edge pixel and you can immediately try it again. So with that little description, I lost track of what Solski found on the right side. Looks like Dark Shadows is going to be heading to Ice Palace, so we'll find out both what Solski missed from the big chest and what was on the right side. Very nice sword beam first phase from Solski, saves some magic for phase 2. Then again, with Tempered Sword, it's really not a difficult fight. Just a full heart.
We got that green pendant.
Yeah, if that green pendant has value. At worst, it's a third of a bow.
That's true. I would be interested. You know, if I were designing the troll Plando here, you know, I might put the cane there. Just on account of, you know, making you go into ice and mire in different ways.
Well, based on the spreadsheet that I just checked, we didn't miss Solski getting anything valuable on that right side. But we'll see what Samaria has.
That could be the mire big key. Oh, it is the cane. Nice.
Oh, well, I just non-sequitured really badly there. Because they both start with S and have a bunch of skills. Devon getting a little bullied in Skull Woods on his way to Mothula. No bottles, this is not looking good.
So what do you think the odds are that Solski hits up Turtle Rock next?
Probably pretty low, seeing as Meyer would have more stuff he can get.
But does he have the Mire Big Key?
He does not. But does he have the Turtle Rock Big Key?
No, but, you know.
Personally, I'd rather go back into Meyer than Turtle Rock, just because Turtle Rock takes a minute to even reach.
Yeah, that's true.
So both decisions would be fine. I think he's probably going to go Meyer, though. No?
The T-Rocket is... Oh, and we get the red mail from the Magic Bat, so I think you might have found your way off my list again.
I don't know. I feel like
not
some
only did
trolls
you
are
make
good,
the
but you
powder
don't
relevant-
troll on everything. If you troll on everything, that's uninteresting.
True. Not only did you make the powder relevant, but it wasn't like super duper out of the way or anything.
Nope. Especially because Samaria is going to be strictly required, so Cold Stare is strictly required.
And that's why all of those Ice Palace keys were available, even though you had to head into Meyer to get them.
Yes.
Because without the Cane of Samaria, you do require every Ice Palace small key to unlock Cold Stare and Melogic.
Yep. Then again, do you really want to be running through Ice Palace without the keys? But it's just a pain. Plenty of other things I could make be a pain.
Though the one thing that we'll get to see for sure, whether it's a pain or not, is once PinkKittyRose, or I guess Dark Shadows might have already done it. Nope, he hasn't checked it yet. We're gonna check the big chest here in Ice Palace. Yep. It's the Meyer key.
Yep, you gotta go to Meyer so you can get that chest out of Ice Palace. You can go back to Meyer. Which
Looks like
means poor
Solski
Solski is
somehow
gonna have to
only
double
has-
dice.
Somehow Solski only has one Turtle Rock small key. I know we've seen at least two.
Girl Samaria was on Sahasrara. Solski, you got the shot. You used it to get here. Why are you doing this the slow way?
I believe we found out that, you know, the hard way, that Solski forgets that he has the hook shot.
Just some bomb capacity upgrades in the roller room.
Yep, we got Upgrade Central up in here. The last room he'll be able to access is the Chomp Room.
Unless Chomp Room has a Turtle Rock small key, which is always a distinct possibility.
Yeah. I'm thinking Solski, so he hasn't been to Meyer yet, right?
No, he has not even touched Meyer, and
So
he's gonna
that's
be
why he
kicking
only has
himself.
one small key.
It does make his Turtle Rock trip a little shorter. So less revisit time. But yeah, at this point, it pretty much is just a hunt for the keys. Solski is now going to go into Meyer, find that Ice Palace big key, and kick himself because he'll know where that Meyer big key is at that point. Did Dark Shadows take a death?
It's entirely possible.
I mean, I saw, like, we know he got the, maybe he just ran out of magic and is trying to get a He hasn't done Spike Caves and he doesn't have bottles.
Oh, right. Now Devin's finally going to pick up those flippers and that,
He's getting
and
his
this
flippers
Titan.
in. It's pretty early on, honestly. Well into his Dark World adventuring. Yes, that's what happens when you're super thorough about all of your checks. You find that cape, you find that mirror, you find that hammer, you find that Thieves Town key.
Dark Shadows, there's magic under both of those other pots you just left in there.
Yeah, Solski sees that Ice Palace small key, and I'm sure he's got a sinking feeling right now. There's the Turtle Rock small key. Just extend that sinking feeling.
Yeah, so one thing about Keysanity mode is almost always when I come into Mire with Keysanity mode on, I'm going to go to the left first, just because it's a little bit more of an efficient clear.
Not always a bad thing to go up still, especially if you don't have the big key. If you don't have the big key, then you can just make your route end at the vanilla big key chest. Because you're not expecting to find the big key and need to get anywhere else from there.
Yeah, but what about the chest that's right next to the big chest?
You can totally get that while you're also getting the lobby chest.
Alright. Yeah, that works. You just gotta have enough small keys to make that work.
Yep. So it looks like Devon's going to be the first one to check that first chest of Swamp. It's kind of surprising that none of the other runners have done so yet.
Yep.
It's been accessible since they got the flippers.
You can see what sort of a gigantic troll we find in here. Yeah, perhaps not gigantic, just... Yep, here's a heart. Go somewhere else. At least it wasn't nothing.
Getting silver arrows out of the Misery Mire big chest.
Alright.
You don't have to worry about silverless at this point.
That's pretty much right on time for those silver arrows. Except you don't have the bow.
Of course, because you have chosen the Archer class.
I mean, somebody has. Certainly wasn't me.
Devon also going for Ice before Mire, which at this point we sadly know is not the right call. Solski is going back in. I think he's got, he has to know the Mire big key is in the Ice Palace big chest. I would be surprised if we don't see some rage bombs at that point. Devon, why are you not just using Bombos in that room? It kills all of the penguins instantly.
So, I have to advocate for Quake in that situation.
Does Quake just outright kill them?
Quake also outright kills them, and it does it quicker.
Okay, well Ether does it even quicker.
Ether freezes them.
It does?
Yep.
Oh. Well then I've just learned something potentially useful. I always thought Quake was the useless medallion. I thought Quake would just convert. I know Ether kills the skeletons instantly.
Yeah, it kills a lot of things instantly. So Quake will turn most things into jellies, but those particular things die instantly.
Okay. Alright, what puts the bottles in logic? I missed the item. Oh wait, was it something on Vitreous?
Could have been.
I feel like it would have to be something on Vitreous at that point.
Yeah, it was another bottle in Vitreous. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, that does it.
So for Dark Shadows, that's going to be his first bottle. Then. No bottles, it can be a little rough, but when you've got a blue mail and plenty of hearts, it's really not too bad. Like really, at that point I think you feel the lack of magic restoration more than the lack of health restoration.
Yeah, it was a bottle, it was not bees. Thank goodness.
So, is he about to get his silver arrows?
That is one thing that I can say to the seed credit is there's a distinct lack of bees.
There's even a bit of a lack of items that start with B. Bottles being late, Burna being late, Bow being late. I guess Bombos was relatively early.
Yeah, it's
And the
true.
boots were immediately accessible. But this was not meant to be a reactionary no more seed.
Right. Of course, this
It's
was
just
designed
coincidental
well in
that that's
advance.
how it works out. Alright, so 5 crystals in for PinkKittyRose. About to be 5 in for both Dark Shadows and Solski. 2 to go.
Right, so PinkKittyRose now making the dip into Turtle Rock. That's they've got 2 keys, so they will at least be able to reach either the big key chest or
No big key, so they pretty much have to go for the big key test unless they want to try and save that key.
yeah, you could potentially go for Mimic Cave first.
And then do a Death Warp save and quit, or Death Warp save and continue, which we saw Walter do yesterday, or 2 days ago, or whatever that was. Pretty cool little trick, something I hadn't considered.
It's like, you want branching paths? Well, 2 can play at that game.
I like this dash fight from Solski. That is quite
Solski's all over
amazing.
the dash fights today. Dash blind, dash viddy.
That is a bee on top of the stream for some reason.
Well, I guess now there are bees.
There are no bees in the seed. Have we even seen a single bee come out of a bush?
I think once.
Oh. I must have missed that.
It just happens south of King's Tomb in the Dark World. No more bees. No more.
Anyway, Defan took a unfortunate death to Cold Stare, but this is actually going to put him on the right path, so... It's not a bad thing.
Alright, so Dark Shadow's picking up the Spike Cave bottle.
Looks like he's electing to go back, too. Oh, that's a strat.
Oh,
Get
spin
super
speed
speed
strat.
off of the stairs and then just cape your way back. That was cool.
To be fair, I hadn't even really thought of that one, but that is quite the deal. So it does look like PinkKittyRose is going to go for Mimic Cave first.
Not a bad call.
Uh-huh. That was potentially not the big key I was expecting. Alright, so PinkKittyRose now gonna head back to the big chest, or big key chest. We'll see what's in there.
Wouldn't it be funny if it's the Turtle Rock Big Key?
I mean, kind of.
Then they'd have to go back to the big chest.
I think it'd be interesting if it was the Swamp Small Key, so now you get both the keys here.
Oh, look.
Well,
This is
look
a
at
small key
that.
to Swamp Palace. It's entirely possible to start getting a feel for how things are near the end of a Plando.
Mhm. And now PinkKittyRose can take the dip into everybody's favorite dungeon. Kappa.
I actually do like Swamp Palace quite a bit. What, are you trying to read into that? I just
No.
genuinely like how Swamp is laid out. Like
I mean,
the left
I
side
actually
bait
do
switch
like-
where you push the blocks instead of flood the blocks, like that is really cool to me.
I actually do like how there is a how Swamp has this whole structure to it where in certain cases it's completely breakable by design. Like if you had the hook shot already.
I think
I
that's
mean-
more of a consequence of just having to repurpose that hub room.
Right.
Regardless, we're getting to see some progress inside Swamp.
So Solski is going to attempt to steal the key and take it somewhere. That's going to work out extremely well, don't you think?
Yes, especially because you need both of those items, or rather, you need to spend that key to get into Swamp. And at this point, would you be surprised if Swamp Palace Big Key had something valuable?
I mean, no. To be honest, I'm expecting to get one Turtle Rock small key somewhere in here, and also the pod big key. And then the last Turtle Rock big small key is in the pod big chest. Or they could be in like the eastern and pod big chest. That'd be fun. Do you hear the air quotes around fun? Do you hear them?
Yes, I hear a lot of air quotes around a lot of things here. But hey, Turtle Rock Big Key.
Well, there we go.
Hey, Solski, something's missing. Now he's gonna go spend that key, probably figuring, this is required.
Yep, the Turtle Rock Big Key behind the Turtle Rock Big Key chest and Mimic Cave.
So really, really making you do this.
So, there are two types of Plando designers in this world. One of them always puts something on left side swamp. The other one always puts garbage on left side swamp. Just to troll people who think that they're one of those people who always puts things on left side swamp. So we'll get to see which one of those our designer is today. And by the way, when I say there are two types of Plando designers, you can be one and then be the other some other time.
Yeah. I mean, Nintendo is a fairly mean one. They actually put something over there.
Yeah, but they also put Hookshot in its vanilla location. What kind of jerks?
Yeah, that's really not cool. Like, that big key to Hookshot is just... Who wants to make that drop twice?
And it looks like left side swamp is officially garbage. I mean, 300 rupees isn't the worst. Like, you
But
can
when
get
you're
potions.
this rich already, when are you going to spend your money on 10 blue potions?
Yeah, I don't know.
I will be seeing what's in the rest of Swamp Palace shortly. Solski retreads the same ground. But PinkKittyRose has been on point with a lot of these meta decisions about where to go.
Hey, it's the T-Rock keys.
That solves that problem. So you're already here, might as well go on to Argus, even though, it has to be a pendant.
Yeah, I think PinkKittyRose is the only person who has not checked the pedestal.
Yeah. So she doesn't know which one this has to be. We'll see if Solski decides to skip left side swamp. Is that usually his style? I feel like somebody in here probably would.
I imagine a lot of people, when they're running normal rando, would like to skip that left side swamp. But they know this is a Plando, and you're not going to skip left side swamp in a Plando. You're just not doing it.
And PinkKittyRose gets a crystal from Argus.
What? Wait, what? Wait a minute.
Don't be confused. Eastern Palace and Palace of Darkness are both crystals. But there are 9 crystals in this seed. This is the real reason why this is on V28. Not the Not any silly reasons about maps or compasses. This is on V28 because V28 let you put duplicate crystals, and V patched that out for V29.
What'd they go and do that for?
Because if you got the same crystal twice, the game would just essentially either crash or soft lock or hard lock or something. The game doesn't like getting the same crystal you've already gotten.
Okay.
So, this is why those other two are crystals. So, the crystal clear was because it's clear where your crystals are. Except it's not. So, Turtle Rock will have the final crystal, and then it's off to GT. Which means that that bow on the pedestal doesn't get pulled. Which means, yeah, whoever said there were two bows earlier, you're absolutely right. There's a second bow somewhere.
So there's no Eastern Palace or Pod Big Key.
Oh, they exist. They're just on the bosses of those dungeons.
Okay.
For any major glitch people who want to screw around.
I was like, how are we gonna prevent people from getting the duplicate crystal? Okay.
Yeah, and that is the real reason why this is on no lock. Not because of the other key placements, which was a convenient excuse and fun thing to play around with, people's expectations in the opening act. And going back and forth between Swamp and Turtle Rock draws out the illusion just about as far as it can go.
I'm like, because if I wanted to be a complete contrarian, I could just grab that bow and then go clear Eastern and Pod, but I don't have the big keys.
Yeah.
Well done.
There is actually one more of those sort of bifurcation key placements in this seed, other than the Sewers Key and Desert Key. There are two crystals that appear in pairs because originally I had the Eastern and Pod maps placed where they could be reached, but at some point they got swapped with the compasses, so that kind of obfuscated things a little bit. Oops. But the gist of the seed still works. In fact, I do have a full spoiler for it sitting around, so I could even, if I ever get access to the V28 customizer again, rebuild with the maps and compasses for Eastern and Pod swapped. But, you know, don't need to do that.
Yeah.
Not worth the effort at that point, I think. Math Girl, if you mean the Rando archive site, that's dead. That's why this was direct linked instead of permalinked.
Man, I suppose you could look a few branches up the GitHub if you really wanted to.
Yeah, but I'd have to set that up. I tried setting that up at one point during an explosive reaction development because I thought that there was something overriding the bomb capacity before I figured out that 0 equals infinite. Yeah. The other set of key placements that required no logic, by the way, are Pod and GT. Their keys are placed in such a way so that the last key of one gets you the last key of the other. So no matter how you try and spend them, you cannot key lock. Oh, Devon takes a forfeit. It's because he's really pushing for ice. Anyway, PinkKittyRose about to be heading over to GT for about a 2-hour entry. Not too bad for Keysanity, I'd say. Though Ganon's Tower Big Key is missing.
Yeah, there is that.
There's one other person who's not being restreamed, I think. There were going to be two. Maria? Yeah, Maria is not being restreamed. So, if that wants to get pulled in, then she can get pulled in.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see where she is, though we won't know exactly what she has.
So there is still room for additional, like, convoluted trolling, but
yeah,
I don't know if you'd have it in you.
No sign of the bow, no sign of the Ganon's Tower key.
Yeah,
especially now that we know that pedestal bow is uncollectible forever.
Yeah, and I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the big key was in another place that might be locked by the bow.
This is tile. The randomizer room, the one on the left side, that requires bombing open a wall. Just a full heart. That's 19 hearts. Alright, PinkKittyRose doing full right side, which is not a play you usually see done.
So I think I want to go ahead and bring in our runner here who's finished dealing with this shenanigans.
Yeah.
Shenanigans is right.
We have a...
I swear, I have never dealt with more rage with ice pellets ever before.
You do realize Tempered Sword was available, right?
Where was that?
Landmo. Yeah, because in order to have the seed not be possible to keylock, both choices with the desert key, going forward to landmail or stealing going back, do a sword. So you can go to
I'm pretty
IHNN, so you
sure
can
I was
eventually get the
forced
desert.
to just steal the key.
Nah, landmail would have worked too. So Tempered Sword was right there. Also, PinkKittyRose doing a super fun fight. Sword Beam Ice Armos.
But yeah, the big key of desert was there on the race game in Kakariko Village, so... But yeah, other than that, Ice Palace caused you some grief there, we could tell.
Yeah. Looks like Miria's over in Swamp. So...
And considering I was the only one that actually choose a different sprite than Link.
No, Miria has a different sprite too.
Oh. Is it because I showed her in like the SRL race the website for exchanging sprites?
Anyway, PinkKittyRose finds bow, gold sword, and burn up and ice armos. Conveniently,
there's all
those
the
are the
fun
3
stuff.
weapons that make Ice Armos the easiest. I specifically wanted a tricky Ice Armos fight here. Hey, look, a Hera small key.
No. No. That's not
Why are
allowed.
you saying no?
Actually, it's not that bad. I just walk outside and mirror.
You're bad.
The seeds are the seed trolls are basically done.
All right. So we're not gonna find the Ganon's Tower big key on the right side of pod.
No.
Okay.
Highly doubt anybody's gonna go check there.
So, Devin, you have anything else you want to say about this particular thing?
Was the beginning confusing?
He's no longer in here, apparently.
Wow.
So, alright. So let's continue watching this particular
Race
run.
wrap up.
PinkKittyRose really ahead here.
Ahead for now. That could change depending on where that big key is. Dark Shadow's about to go clear Turtle Rock. Miria-chan going to be about, I'd say 3 minutes out from that. 4 for entering. So nobody else having too much trouble with this.
Pink gets the 20th heart and has more heart pieces.
Yeah,
Now
I
has 21
accidentally
hearts.
placed one too many heart containers in here. Oops.
So I have guessed that the Ganon's Tower big key is in the imaginary number chest.
You can guess that it's Light World Ganon's Tower chest.
Yeah, see? That's what I meant. I mean, yeah, but K is also technically a square root of -1 in that case.
Perhaps. 2 hours in, PinkKittyRose gets a little break. Sure, she's fine with that. So, fun fact about the Armos, with Tempered Sword, the poke and the slash, the poke does less damage than the slash as you'd expect. The spin does the same, but the sword beam does the same damage as the slash.
Yeah, that's true. The sword beam does fighter sword damage, and fighter sword damage for some reason is twice as much as it should, or like 4 times as much as it should be. Or twice
That's
as much.
to make sure that if you do sword fight the Armos in Eastern Palace, that you don't get a significantly easier fight here if you sword them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
You would put the Ganon's Tower big key in the Hera basement, wouldn't you?
it's just a mirror away, and the key is right there on the port.
Yeah, why'd you even go left side? What's wrong with you?
Well, Solski didn't.
Yeah, Solski's like, nope.
Solski went full right side, got that key. Oh, and is going to pod.
Oh no. He got extra debated.
Ah, that is... Ouch. Even if you thought that was the... No, wait, no, he didn't even go left side at all. He doesn't know that where a key is there. Did he?
Oh. Yeah, maybe he hasn't even seen the torch.
Yeah, there's no way that this gauntlet's going to be hard. This is full equipment. like literally full equipment, 100% conditions.
This is basically a victory lap at this point.
Yeah, this is better than 100% conditions actually, because 100% doesn't get capacity upgrades.
Yeah, I guess the people who designed the 100% rules decided that
Oh, no,
standing...
no. Bottle 4 is somewhere, who knows where.
I'm guessing that the people who designed 100% conditions decided that standing in front of a pond throwing a bunch of rupees in for like 10 minutes is not really fun.
Yeah. Their bottle does exist.
Yeah, it's gonna be right up here where Solski's going.
No. Single arrow. Devon forfeit. He dropped out. Too many deaths in Ice Palace.
Maybe it's in one of these 4 chests on the way up Ganon's Tower. That is a possibility.
Yeah, this is pretty typical length of time for a Keysanity, right?
That's
About
probably better
2:15.
than I usually would do.
Oh yeah, the half magic does exist. Also, Marius Tracker would be really easy. She's got all the same dungeon clears as everyone, and has pretty much everything except for the bow, burn, and gold sword. Her tracker would be super easy there. Could basically copy Dark Shadow's tracker. Speaking
No.
of, he is confused right now. Going into Ganon's tower, but confused. And the Hyrule Castle map has been found!
Beautiful.
Nice little book ending, seeing as the Ganon's Tower map was the first thing most people found. So, the final bottle was in the pre-mold orm chest, because like I said earlier, people expect things in the last one, so you put it in the second to last one.
There you go. What about half magic?
I don't think anybody's going to be getting that, because it's in the Ganon's Tower big chest, but it does exist. Also,
Okay.
the Swamp Palace and Turtle Bark maps were also both upstairs in Ganon's Tower.
All right.
Yeah, Gold Sword Ganon, super easy. Nice Agatu fight.
So they were sitting in the 2 chests right next in Mini Helmasaur room.
Yep.
So basically, you just open those. It's like get trolled.
It's like, no, you wanted to know what these were? Now they are.
And here we go, PinkKittyRose on the final fight, just destroying these 2 phases with the butter sword.
Yeah, 6 slashes per phase, and then you just... It's not hard with silvers at all. Like, there's no way anything's going to go wrong here. Solski, unfortunately, doing full left side now before going off to Tower of Hera. He's gonna be kicking himself for that move.
Oh man, filling up with the 4 heart pieces after getting 24 hearts doesn't 20 hearts doesn't refill your health.
That is interesting. Yeah, there she goes. Ganon's down. Just gotta wait and walk in. Race Room already had her finish with a final time of 2:14.56.
Well played to PinkKittyRose.
That just happened.
And we are now joined by the winner of our race, PinkKittyRose. So, how was that thing?
That was a lot more Plando than the last Plando.
Yeah.
Essentially paired dungeons of having the big key for one and one, and then the big key for the other, and having to double dip them both.
So I was really
I believe
fire double dip and the swamp turtle rock back and forth, which was meant to delay the obfuscation of the gimmick. Because we don't think you checked the pedestal and everyone else did.
Oh,
Pedestal
dear.
had bow.
Yeah. Wait, pedestal also had bow?
Yes. Which was meant
Oh.
to mislead into thinking that, okay, Eastern and Pod can't be pendants, so they're crystals. So my pendants are ice from Sahasrara in the map, and then Turtle Rock and Swamp. And then you get confused when that crystal drops.
So my
Which has
forgetting to
happened
check
a
the
couple
pedestal
times.
actually helped.
Yeah, not checking pedestal avoided some of that confusion.
Oh, that explains why the others are a little misty. God damn it! All the nothings, by the way! Coming up in the credits right now. I didn't even know nothing was an option!
The items, they were clear as crystal. Just like the pendant crystal status of things, except not really.
I got to the mushroom spot and I'm just like, wait, I didn't pick this up already, did I? I'm not going crazy. And then I walk towards it and it gives me the item fanfare and I'm just like, wait, what?
Yeah, that's a thing.
I've never seen that before.
Nothing so stupid, Zora says. Nothing so stupid!
I even did the freaky Houlihan strategy, and then I went over there with the sequence break, and I was handed literally nothing.
mushrooms go poof, apparently.
So, what did you think of the essentially everything up until Aghanim part of the game?
You know, I felt pretty good that I was following the chain. Unfortunately, I strategically avoided boots for an hour.
Your reaction there was pretty amusing.
It's just like, I open the chest, take one step, and they're like, stop! It's like, oh, god dang it, no. At that point, I'm just like, well, I lost. Apparently I didn't.
You did not have to do any of the weird dips. Dark Shadows got confused and went and did some Dark Aghanim for a bit. And Solski went Ice before Mire, which in this case was not a good decision. Didn't pay off.
Wow. I like how my entrance random just has me immediately go into Sword Beam Ice Armos without a care in the world.
Yeah, that was another one of the big things I wanted to do with the gimmick, because it tied in very well. 2 dungeons locked by Bo. Bo makes a very obvious lock everybody thinks about, and I can still require it later. And so that would allow also a alternate weapon Armos fight, which I wanted to make as tricky as possible. So I put all the stuff you'd normally want to fight with behind them.
Whereas I'm just like, I got magic powder.
Who cares? This is fun.
It's like, I have sword beams. These things take them out pretty fast.
But yeah, did you catch that the book and Master Sword were both technically sequence breaks?
I did not, actually.
Yeah, small keys are normally required for those items, and both of them eventually led back to their small key. If you stole the key in either place, it would still work.
That would
Sewer's key
explain why
immediately
the
gives it
desert
back
key-
to you, and the desert key as you saw both sides led to a sword upgrade.
Yeah, it's like, I like that tempered sword. It did me well for quite some time.
Yeah.
So there's another behind the madness. Also, I had 21 hearts, technically.
Yeah,
So
I
there was that.
accidentally placed one too many heart containers. Oops. Not like it matters.
So I just started opening them, and I'm just like, oh, this is gonna be 4 pieces of heart. Well, I guess I have 21.
Yeah, you found every single health upgrade in the seed.
The only things I didn't really open were the stuff locked behind Bo and the other ascent chest over in validation.
Yeah, which were 2 more maps and Bottled Fairy.
I was pleasantly surprised after the other back and forth natures of the
Speaking of the
seed.
Bottled Fairy, Solski gets it.
Alright.
Apparently the half magic was in the Ganon's Tower big chest.
That's just rude. Not like I needed it, I guess.
Yeah, you have access to all of the bottles, and 20 hearts, and red mail, and gold sword, and silvers. What more could you possibly ask of me?
It's like, oh no, I might run out of magic at some point. Except I won't, because I've been strong for most of the siege!
And, 2 bottles came preloaded with green potions.
Yeah. I was just like, no, let's go nice then.
It's actually really close between Dark Shadows and Mariachan. They're both in Hera right now.
Both of them about to find out, oh hey, you don't have to go and do the pedestal dungeons.
Yeah. Also, Solski went and did Pod. Yeah, that pod
You
guy.
had to at least dip it.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, for the Ganon's Tower big key with Bo to go do right side,
Oh.
rather than just going and checking Hera, because he did full right and then just left.
Oh no.
Yeah, and then did full left side before checking Hera.
Oh no. I'm just like, well, I found the bow, but I didn't
Yeah,
actually
you-
find the big keys to the pendant dungeon, so
Yeah,
I'm
he
just
made a
gonna keep going.
lot of the not quite correct decisions. While you seem to just be making all the right ones.
Until I missed the boots.
That doesn't really count. You still got the boots.
I know, but it made me have to go slowly check a couple of other things, and maybe wait to getting the Thief's Town big key and some other stuff.
Yeah.
I still managed to bug 25 times, apparently.
Yeah, you got them an hour in, so there's still an hour of dashing around.
Yeah, I wasn't too bad. It's... Yes! 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 I was hoping that number would be at least this big. Oh, I played an entrance Keysanity race recently where I was one off. Not this time, though. I picked up enough nothing.
Oh, so is that why you ran around picking up all the nothing you saw?
Bloat the collection rate. Bloat it. Also because I was just having a bit of fun with the fact that it's like, drain the dam. It's like, oh, there's a shadow in the water.
I want that shadow.
Pink, do not speak of that entrance, Rando. It's giving me ideas for a future Plando. We don't want spoilers here. Thank you.
I was talking
Also,
about last
202,
night.
wow.
Yeah, almost
Seeing as
100%.
there were 4 locations that you literally could not collect. 5, actually, with Pedestal.
Yeah, so let's see. According to my tracker here, I had 6 items in Pod, 2 items in Eastern, 4 items in the Ascent, and the Pistol.
Yeah. You did open the last chest, though. You did get that Hyrule Castle map.
It was nice. It was like a bookend, because the first item was the Ganon's Tower map.
Yeah, that's exactly why it was there.
Nice and open and shut.
Solski's got a bit of a scary Ganon at 1 heart, but phase 4 is not hard.
Yeah, he'll push it.
And again, he
Now I know
also
why
did
they
pick
did.
up that fairy bottle upstairs, so...
And now I know what the sad face he made about who the RC was. That must have been when he went to check Pod.
No, that was, earlier than that.
Okay.
I am so confused right now, was around the time Dark Shadows got, his impossible crystal. And then the sad face was the Ice Mire stuff.
Oh wait, did you actually have multiple crystals or something?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't do a
Eastern
map
and
check
Pod are
after, like,
both
the first
actually
two.
crystals.
Oh,
Uncollectible
Well?
crystals to prevent the game from crashing, but crystals nonetheless.
interesting.
That was the gimmick of Crystal Clear. And I ran with it by making nothings.
No wonder the generator wouldn't let you generate that thing.
Yeah,
That's
that got
actually not
specifically
why.
patched out in V29 too. Like, as I'm building this, it got patched out, and it's like, no!
Speaking of version 29, I kind of got hit by a version 29 change that wasn't in this seed.
You talking about the purple chest? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, it's like, you wait outside, purple chest. I'll be right back. I walk back outside. It's like, purple chest. No, somebody's taken my purple chest.
Are we gonna get Solski in here?
Maybe. We'll see.
It's also like an interesting mind game of trying to figure out, okay, which of the trolling locations are necessary and which ones are optional.
This
Pretty much
mess.
toss a coin. For the second time today, her Plando where left-hand side swap is useless.
Yeah, we came to that. We had the discussion about there are two types of Plando makers. Plando makers who always put something in left side swamp, and Plando makers who never put something in left side swamp.
Curses!
And you can actually be both.
Yeah. I've only ever made a couple of Plandos, and they were much more open-ended, I guess would be the way of putting it.
Yeah, open ones can be fun, more narrow paths can be fun. It's about having a good mix.
Mhm.
I think, an interesting connecting theme is more valuable than any individual set of placements. And this definitely happened. It's probably the less themed one that I've made, though.
I'm looking forward to the quote-unquote swordless siege coming up in a couple of hours.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Loving the
Oh.
Bugnet Aga fight right here. Seen two of those now.
I got my Bugnet I got out of the way in the morning race, so. Well, a couple of those patterns, it might have actually helped.
Yeah, apparently, according to the document, I'm gonna need to go practice my hammer aga fight.
Yep, that's right.
But you said it wouldn't be required.
It won't be. You just have to go all the way up and then fight your way all the way up again with a sword.
Yep, pretty much. It's not required. Hammer Aga is never required. It's impossible to require a Hammer Aga because there's no item that's locked behind Aga. So if you
Swordless.
fight Aga,
True swordless.
yeah, through Swordless, but nonetheless, if you can still find the Bugnet and do Bugnet Aga in Swordless. So no matter what, it is impossible to require a Hammer Aga.
But
But true swordless, you can.
But you'd have to remove the Bugnet.
No, you just would have to. Well, I guess that's true. But you.
Yeah.
what
you
he's
could
saying
still
is
totally
that
remove the Bugnet though. It's
Yeah,
customized.
it
You
might
don't
be
have to
more
place anything
convenient
on a
to do it with the hammer than it would to come back with the Bugnet, is what he's saying.
Yeah.
Now, entrance random, on the other hand, you can definitely have situations where you're forced into a racket them.
Not Aga 2.
Yeah, still like it too. That's all you need to do is give. Well, it depends
No,
on
there's
could
no
put-
way
you
to
could
force
put-
it.
Well, you could put Kakariko well in the pyramid.
pretty much. You just put all four swords of the Bugnet in there. There's enough room. Be nasty, but there's enough room.
True.
And while we've been talking, Dark Shadows has finished. Final time, 2:29:25. About 5 minutes after Solski.
An interesting note about this seed, the crystals aren't the reason it was on No Logic. You could put duplicate crystals on a No Glitches seed. I was talking to IHNN about this. He had a reason he couldn't generate it, and he thought it was because it was something else, but I could generate it on No Glitches by just manually placing the green pendant. And that was the solution, place the green pendant, because Saha can't read a null pointer.
But at that point, I'd already planned out a bunch of key placements that essentially make a choice. Either choice is correct.
Yeah, pretty much, and that's why you needed No Logic, but the duplicate crystals could have been done on No Glitches otherwise.
Again, this is V28 logic, not V29.
Yeah, we rolled this on V28 Logic.
Just clarifying in case any viewer gets any crazy ideas.
This can't be done in V29, this is now impossible.
Welcome to the comms call, Dark Shadows. Hope you enjoyed it.
It was interesting.
So how much of it was crystal clear?
Not much.
Were the crystals at least clear?
I saw items that were nothing. I was like, what in the world are these?
Well, I mean, those were pretty clear.
They're a fascinating specimen.
Oh no, Maria-chan ran out of keys upstairs in Ganon's tower.
Oh no.
So I did the pet check. I'm pretty sure that's the description for bow, right?
Yep.
Yes. There were 2 bows,
Just two of them.
just to mislead you.
That was rude.
I'm the only one that didn't check that. And it was just by forgetting to.
So Maria-chan needs to find a Ganon's tower small key somewhere in the world.
Well, at least I got a triple on Aga with the net. I'm happy about that one.
That was pretty
Nice.
cool. And I think I know exactly where her missing key is, too.
I mean, I know there was one in King's Tomb.
Yeah, there's one in King's Tomb, and then the other 3 are actually all of darkness in those things behind one pod key. And she should have found every pod key by now, especially if she burned the key for Ganon's tower map room, which led to a pod key.
Huh, so I did just enough Palace of Darkness then.
Yeah, so pod actually turned out to be important.
For more than just the king.
Hey, what was in the, did anyone check the harmless Hellway chest?
That's one of the keys.
Yeah, I grabbed that one. Actually, did I either grab that one or I grabbed one from the vanilla big key chest? I'm pretty sure it was the latter.
Those are both Ganon's tower keys.
Yeah. I had 3, that's enough.
Yeah, 3's plenty. Don't open that central door.
So Miri's just going right back up.
Did she forget about the...
The mini helm source?
maybe? Always sad to see a double gauntlet. Yeah, any other comments or questions, Dark Shadows?
Just that double bow. That.
I mean, it threw me off. I was sitting here like, wait a minute.
The visual the visible confusion on that Swamp Palace crystal. That was great.
I love how I like missed all of this just from what I was doing. It's like I did Sword Beam Armos Knights, and when I opened up the bow, instead of being confused, I just made this like overly smug grin on my face and started wiggling my eyebrows. I missed the gimmick entirely.
I mean, if it was still a fun seed, even with overlooking the core original idea, then I'd say that's a success.
Yeah. I missed it all.
I mean, you picked up all the nothing items. Those are part of the gimmick too.
Oh, that was my main moment of confusion. It's just like, what? Because you couldn't
can
even
do
see
that.
the shadow of the one in the Lost Woods. Like, there was nothing to indicate there was something there until I stepped on it.
Yeah, I think I looked at my menu a few times like, wait, what did this give me? What is it? What is this?
At least I didn't put a nothing in a dark room. That would have been pretty rude.
Yeah, a little bit.
Would that have been more or less rude than putting nothing on Zora?
Probably more rude. Nothing on Zora was probably highly amusing for the audience, especially since I went out of my way to get that last little sliver of rupees.
I think I paid every rip-off artist.
And
Yeah.
now, nothing for a limited time. Only $8.99.
I'll teach you how to swim. Oh, you already know how to swim. I'm taking your money anyway.
I mean, at least the bottle vendor actually gave you a sword.
Yeah, he was nice.
That was okay.
Yeah. Speaking of swords, Dark Shadows, did you catch that regardless of what you did with the desert key, you'd still get a sword and be able to progress and get the desert key and get the other sword? Even though logically, both of those swords were not in logic.
I've just come to accept that desert key logic causes weird things.
Well, the thing is, desert key logic is anything on the right side or anything on landmail are both considered locked by the desert key. Because you could spend it on either and miss out on the other one. In this case, neither one was in logic because both of those, because the desert key was behind Aghanim, so it wasn't accessible yet. Regardless of which side you picked, you still got the sword, you still got to go beat up Aghanim, you still got to get the flippers eventually and that key, and then get the other one. So that is something outside of logic that is not soft-lockable. And that was the other thing I kind of wanted to show, that there are some things like that.
Also, you know, big props on the attempt at Dark Aga Tower.
That first room where I save and quit out of, I feel I should have been able to do that one, but I'd already figured out if I get that and it's a key, I'm going back and finding out where the lamp is, because forget doing the rest of it dark.
And it was on Spectacle Rock the whole time. Or in Spectacle Rock.
When I saw that first vanilla key in the tower, I'm just like, well, I know what we're doing.
Yeah, I figured given Keysanity, that was not something people would probably expect.
It's just like, oh, Master Sword, I just got the lamp.
Oh, I saw the key on the lumberjack ledge, and I'm like, well, we're doing Aga at some point. Though
Yeah.
I didn't see enough of it to tell it was a small key. I thought it was a big key.
It was just a misery minor key, I want to say, so nothing even all that important.
I think it was Turtle Rock, actually.
Which was very important because you needed every one of those keys.
Yeah, I tried to avoid it. I did, but then I look at the big key for so often, and it's like,
Yeah, there were a lot of people messing around with that area trying to avoid spending that small key to get to the big key chest.
And you're just like, nope.
No, you're getting this. I'm making you do this. Do this.
Oh, for which set of keys was that?
Turtle Rock. You had to get the Turtle Rock big key chest.
yeah, the one that people normally avoid in Keysanity because it's usually just a trap.
Oh, I just went right to it.
hadn't established trust in the seed yet.
I trusted that I wasn't going to get soft locked.
Yeah. If I had overlooked something and someone did, I would have felt really bad, though. Because, as mentioned, this was no logic. Everything was specifically set up in such that I was pretty sure nothing could be soft-locked. And I had to play it through to make sure that I was being deliberately antagonistic in my playtest, trying to lock it. So I opened all the doors that you normally are just, no, this door's not worth opening. And I still didn't get stuck anywhere.
I was a little sad when the flipper showed up because I was like, the next thing I wanted to do was go before a water walking storing glitch to go get the key off of the ledge, but then they showed up and it's just like, oh, alright, I'll go get it regularly.
Yeah, it was actually really close around the time of the mitts and flippers turning up. Like, the three of you were all with, you've all had the big bomb at the same time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Rose, you had just dropped it as Dark Shadows, you were buying it. You all had it there on screen at the same time. Solski was in the process of walking.
The nature of the seed, I didn't expect there to be too much variance in terms of time.
No, there was a lot of variance after that point, though.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. Like, that's
And
what
there we
actually
go,
happened.
Myriad-chan finishing 4th place with an official
You
SRL time
got
of 2 hours,
comment,
40
mean
minutes, and
trick.
52 seconds.
Well, that just happened.
Collect all the things. All of them.
And I'm pretty sure that that's something that hadn't really been done in some seed before. That's sort
Pretty
of
good.
Like there's been bait before, but I don't think there's been any sort of, this is totally a crystal. No, it's not.
Oh, I don't know if Myria has access to this Discord.
For now, I am going to head out though. I'm going to get some dinner before the next Plando comes up here in a couple of hours. But
Yeah, thanks for
good
playing.
and thanks for getting everything all hosted up. You guys have fun. Good night.
Welcome to the live call area. Hopefully that wasn't too mean.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, I'm the creator.
Hi. It's a little
So-
mean.
So what specifically did you find mean about that?
Well, just all the double dipping required. It's like, yeah, I know something's coming. I kind of predicted that, but
I think there were only 4 total required double dips. The
Only 4.
and then back to Meyer, Ganon's Tower, and then to Hera, and then back, and then the swamp, and then at Turtle Rock open swamp to open Turtle Rock to open swamp.
yeah, that was just.
Originally there
Oh,
were
that
more
was-
steps there. I actually nerfed that.
Oh my god. That was just tedious. The mean part was they like teasing you with a bow at the pedestal, but then I knew something was up when I got the Swamp Palace and it was a crystal rather than a pendant.
Yep. That is what I was going for. That sort of crystal misdirection.
Because of the name of it, I thought the transparent items would become important too, so I got all of those.
No, that was just more to do with the name. It's like, hey, there's clear things. I can put those in the open. That's funny.
And then someone named Crystal Unclear showed up in my chat, which was kind of funny.
Was that a new account or an old one? So that was an old one. That is a
No.
great coincidence.
It's one of the Rockman X runners that I know.
Wow. So you were not on the restream for the beginning, so don't know what you did with the early keys for sewers and desert.
Desert, I stole the back key.
You were rewarded with a Master Sword, and I'm sure you noticed that even if you didn't, you would be rewarded with a Master Sword.
Oh, I didn't notice that part.
Nope, sword regardless of how you use that key, because otherwise there would be keylock potential.
Yeah, I kind of figured that it would be fine. It was just it got close there. I was like, did he really think of all the different ways that this could happen? Because I got down to one location I got down to one location several times during the race. I'm like, did the author forget something, or I don't know.
I pretty much followed the regular law, outside of the sewers key, where stealing the key from a guard would still get you the sewers key and let you go get the book anyway. The desert key, where regardless of your choice, you get the sword, you get the Aghanim access, you get the Dark World, you get the flippers, you get the desert key, you get the other sword, and at Landmo if you didn't. And the Ganon's Tower and Pod keys were kind of intertwined, such that the last one of each was locked behind the last one of the other.
Oh, I
So
see.
if you skipped map room, or did map room, then that got a pod key, and then behind all the 1-for-1 doors in pod, there was just a Ganon's Tower key.
Yeah.
So that made sure none of that would lock. And I saw you had to climb the gauntlet twice because you forgot the Helmasaur key.
Yeah. Ugh, those people, so embarrassing. I'm used to always having an extra key up there because there's one unnecessary key in Ganon's Tower. I haven't played Keysanity enough yet where that's not true.
Yeah, as mentioned, the other one was either pod vanilla big key or pod harmless hallway. At that point. And fun fact, Eastern and pod, they were both actually crystals too.
Wait, there
9
were
crystals
9
placed.
crystals?
Yeah. But they were completely uncollectible to prevent crashing.
I'm just glad that this game has the randomizer base ROM has a hack in it so that it won't crash the game if you get more than 20 arts. The original game would.
Ooh.
It looks like there's protection against that in the randomizer ROMs.
Yeah, I'd heard that. Fortunately.
Yeah, I think that was added as part of the retro mode because they had the take annies that got added.
No, that was already there.
Oh, well then.
Because this was pre-retro mode. This was V28. Just because, like, the extra heart container was accidentally placed. Oops.
Yeah, I hit the 21 hearts and they're like, oh, so 4 pieces of heart don't refill your health if you're already on 20.
I mean, I guess that shows something kind of cool.
So I'm very untrusting of randomizers. Like, I will always full clear them because I don't trust anything. Because the spots that are normally rare are often, something important in randomizers.
Yeah. I mean, I try not to always go for that. Sometimes I will, sometimes I won't. It really depends on my mood at the time. And I'm hammering out these placements over the course of a few days, usually.
Yeah. Because I don't trust it, I just end up like full clearing everything and making no assumptions.
To be fair, don't you generally do that?
No. I take into account trying to ignore most random or the low probability
Yeah.
things.
I guess you can't trust dungeon counts in a Plando either.
Yeah, I also
But I would make a note if I broke a dungeon count somewhere. Like, I think that's kind of rude to not mention.
that seemed to work fine, but it was stuff like you know, I would always try the tile room in Ganon's Tower immediately because randomizers love to put stuff there.
Yeah, it's not a bad decision. Like, it's honestly not even a bad decision in regular randomizer because it's one of those things. If it works, cool, you just saved a bunch of time. If it doesn't, oh well, that's just under a minute.
Yeah. I need to remember that Helmasaur key in a Keysanity case. It just never happens. You need that in regular if you full clear the rest of it. It's Keysanity that matters.
All right. So, with that, it's probably about time to prepare for the upcoming ridiculousness that is, dude, where's my sword?
Where's that?
It's in
Well,
2
I
hours.
think it sounds like where's the sword?
That sounds very painful and fun.
Yep, it's coming up at 10 p.m. Eastern. Once again here on the ALTTP Plando channel for the Plandothon.
Dude, what's a sword?
Yeah, who knows? All right, so I hope everybody enjoyed that, and hope Miri-chan, do you have anything else you'd like to say about this before we wrap things up?
Or rant at me about?
No, I hope to see you there for the 7 o'clock one, so, or, well, 10 o'clock Eastern one.
All right. So with that, I'd like to thank JTN for tracking this glorious abomination. And
This isn't the abomination. That was the
no, that
last
was the
one.
other one. No, that was an abomination.
It
Anyway,
was both, okay? I'm telling you.
and of course, Yonniman for the restream, and of course to IHNN for both commentating and providing the seed here today. And yeah, indeed. So with that, I'd like to say thank you to everybody, and once again, I have been DoctorBobtastic,
I've been IHNN.
and we will see you all later.